Today I fricked up. Tomcat1341 says, today I fricked up by my wife tricking me into having a pegging kink. Older story but will share now. A while back I 29 male was trying to talk my wife 25 female into trying anal. And she always would jokingly say, well, only if I get to do it to you first, and would go behind me and hump. She would say I always wondered how it would feel for a guy in that position. It went on for a while, and I had zero interest. So I eventually thought, if she really wanted it, I should at least think about it, and not be a hypocrite. Also thought I could bite the bullet, if it got me anal from her. So I started to look up advice for a guy or best positions etc and wound up watching some pegging porn. The idea that my wife was turned on by it is the only reason I even went down this path. I'm a person who kind of gets turned on as she does, if I'm the one doing it. So I end up getting really turned on by the idea eventually. I went out and bought a Fieldo, which is a strapless dildo that she uses when it goes into her as well. So I eventually kind of casually brought up the whole pegging thing and she basically says, lol, no way you'd want to do that. I don't think I would ever be able to look at you the same. Kind of gay, right? So now I'm the one who wants to try, and that will never happen. Too long. Didn't read. Wife joked about wanting to peg me. I secretly looked into it and got interested. Turns out she was only joking. Update/edited to at, I should have included I suppose. Since then she actually opened up to ass play with her. The classic finger in from behind, and has allowed anal several times as well. The ironic part is that every time she has had something in her ass she gets off very quickly. So she knows it can be pleasurable. Free as Free 76 says, you called her bud bluff for bud stuff, but still no buds are getting stuffed. Update edit. Congrats on getting her bum. While yours did remain mum, you put in your finger, the feeling did linger, now it's her fave way to come. Whiskey Tango 55 says, if that's not tough enough, before he was rebuffed, he was chuffed to get his bud stuffed. Now he's hearing that stuff's just for puffs, but rather than huff and puff, and, God forbid, look for a bit of rough, maybe love the one you're with, and make do with a muff. Thelatestrant says, how much bud stuff could this booth stuff, if this booth could stuff butt? The gentleman says, kind suppose comment by your wife NGL. It's not even that weird, and she's insinuating it would make you gay. Women be enforcing toxic masculinity like crazy. Anarchy Rabbit says, I don't always have gay sex. But when I do, it's with a woman. Dradool says, surely it's only gay if you push back. Flammabliazone says, it's not gay for a man to have sex with a woman. It's kind of the opposite of gay. W0 Batina says, well, if you think about it, a woman has probably kissed and touched a man before you. So when you have sex with her, you are having second-hand sex with all of those men, which is very gay. You would think this could be circumvented by only having sex with virgins, but no, she is having sex with you because she is attracted to you, a man. Which means she is gay, and having sex with a gay person is also gay. Well, what about having sex with a lesbian? I hear you ask. Well, if she is a lesbian she is technically gay, which again means you are having sex with a gay person, so you are gay. Icefire 909 says, you're also forgetting that people are also made out of cum, which is from a man's balls. At that point you're basically remote docking with her dad. PRW8201 says, my wife and I started down that path as well. I bought everything needed. Then asked the wife how she wants to do it. Yeah, I should have started there. She wants to basically rape me with it. Yeah, no, I'm not doing no lube bud stuff. She was turned on by the dominance and power of it. She never thought of the pleasure side of it. She even said she wouldn't give me a reach around. So really I should have asked what turned her on about the idea before really investing in it. Mening the Goat says, fascinating, such a short comment, yet such a gallery of spousal red flags. Hobble my phone says, there's a lot to unpack there. Masterton says, toxic comment on her part, in all seriousness. Arthureth says, me when it's gay to have sex with my wife. r/today I fricked up. Sad Manufacturer 257 says, today I fricked up be squatting at work. I work in an Amazon FC and today, while loading a truck I squatted and felt a slight breeze accompanied by a ripping feeling. Thankfully I was in the truck alone, so I shot and felt but to see if my shorts ripped. But no, they hadn't, so I checked the front just to make sure. No tears, so I moved on and kept loading the truck, and eventually I felt more and more ripping before it finally dawned on me. My boxers had been ripping. I've been letting my breezy balls hang loose all day as my boxers continued to rip. Finally by the end of shift, which is now, my boxers are ripped up to my manhood in the front and the seam in the back. And I can never tell my wife about this because she's been telling me for weeks to buy new clothes. She's right, but I will never let her know she was too long. Didn't read. I ripped my boxers at work and only proceeded to let it get worse. Edit. I told my wife. She laughed at me and then asked to see how bad it was XD. She's now going on about me needing to listen and buy clothes. Celtech says, tell your wife she was right. She will appreciate it. Mad Martigan 2023 says, lol, just throw them in the hamper like nothing happened. I'm not a wombat says, honey, when you washed my boxers, you destroyed them. Seriously though, don't do that. Coots guy says, well, this was extremely anticlimactic. Sad Manufacturer 257 says, yeah, sorry, that's my life for ya. Silinan says, this is a Gillith trading company ad I didn't need today. Roger Borman says, that is hardly a frick up. I thought you were squatting at work as in sleeping there. Droi says, plot twist, Op's wife took a thread cutter to all his boxes she wanted replaced. This is just the first. P. Waza 17 says, nothing wrong with that. Tyson showed his ass to the whole world yesterday. And Tetis says, if your wife does laundry, she'll know. Evanmas says, just take the unders off and go commando. Rodfather 23 says, should rip them off and spun them around your head like the Big Monty. Resident Welcome 3901 says, time to upgrade, recommend leather or latex. Senedrax says, new idea, from now on, when the wife finds ripped underwear on your person, she is given full and 100% permission to rip them off of you. What she does after the fact is up to her, but if she rips them off and to shreds, they get thrown in the trash. Dadic Prince says, and I can never tell my wife about this because she been telling me for weeks to buy new clothes. She's right, but I will never let her know she was. Hold strong, brother, Christmas is coming up. That's when family members help us re-up on boxers and socks. 1130 Coco says, why tell anyone? Ridiculous. Slothboy 42069 says, your wife will appreciate you acknowledging she was right. Karahis says, tell her you were trying to hold out hoping you get some at Christmas. Ali 2994 says, couldn't you have just ordered some new ones and fulfilled your order? Some O'Neill's 867 says, you could wrap them up and give them to her as a present. Say you made her a new cleaning cloth. Make sure you have your shoes on and are ready to run. Auric Argent says, ask your wife what she wants you to wear going forward. I guarantee that she will appreciate it and you'll feel sexier wearing what she likes. Today I fricked up. Forsaken Jump 910 says. Today I fricked up be drinking iced tea. I'm a college student and I have a 9:35 am class every Tuesday and Friday. Before class, I usually order some food and coffee from Dunkin' Donuts to eat during class. This morning, I decided to try something different and got some iced tea. I sipped it on the way to class, as I always do with my coffee. I was late today, so people were glancing at me as I walked in to find a seat. We were also on a Zoom video conference with another professor and class from a different university, and my class is fairly small, 25 to 30 students, so it's noticeable that I snuck in. I'm sitting there for 2 minutes, and I start to feel extremely nauseous. I brush it off and take another sip of iced tea, thinking the cold would help. I start salivating and realize I'm about to puke any second. I bolted out of class towards the bathroom next door and made it just in time. I started spewing clear liquid into the toilet, which unfortunately came with a lot of retching and groaning noises that people in my class could hear. After a few minutes it was over, and I stood there panting. I rarely throw up, so it's weird that it happened, especially on an empty stomach, as evidenced by the clear vomit. I had to do the walk of shame back into my class to pack my stuff up and go home, which was all recorded on the Zoom. I could see my professor just staring at me as I walked away. I can't believe that in college I'm the kid who randomly threw up in class, like in elementary school. I called my mom to tell her I threw up, and she told me drinking iced tea on an empty stomach makes her nauseous. I googled it, and tea can cause nausea and vomiting on an empty stomach because of the tannins. So there's nothing wrong with me, I'm not sick, I just accidentally induced vomiting at 9:40 am in the middle of class. Too long, didn't read, I drank iced tea on an empty stomach, which can apparently induce vomiting, so I had to rush out of my college class to go throw up. I really want Skittles says. I drink both iced and warm tea, depending on the season, to start my day. Never even felt discomfort. Upon inquiry, my mother, drinker of tea 3 times a day, every day for over 50 years, had this to say: some people can't stomach just tea on an empty stomach, they need to add a bit of milk. Reducing the steep time of tea also helps reduce the nausea. Iced tea is steeped for longer, so it can be a little more intense. Growing up drinking tea 3 times a day also helps with adapting to tea weirdness. Enjoy. Forsaken Jump 910 says. I think the issue with the tea is that it's whatever iced tea a college Dunkin' Donuts has. I bet drinking freshly brewed tea at home is less nauseating. I really want Skittles says. Tea aside, I used to have crazy nausea every morning from apparently anxiety. Antacids helped a lot with this, so you could keep a pack with you to avoid future acidity issues. Jimmacaronoid says. I'm sorry this happened to you, but also I threw up made me cackle. Several Deadlizin says. I grew up drinking tea and drink my hot tea with milk, and this still happens to me every time. Doesn't happen with coffee though. The mysteries of the human body. Blush Mysteria says. Oh man, that's rough but also kind of hilarious in a this would only happen to me way. Iced tea really said not today and chose chaos for you. Honestly, this could be one of those college memories that you laugh about later. Maybe stick to the coffee next time, or at least make sure you've got something in your stomach first. Hang in there, and maybe next time you'll be the legend who survived the iced tea incident of 23. Stay hydrated, my dude, but maybe not too hydrated on the tannins on an empty stomach. Firester says. I wonder if this is like the cilantro gene where it just affects people differently. I drink black tea in the morning all the time and I never thought of this. Matter of fact, one of my favorite teas is English breakfast. My sympathies to this event. Nothing quite as embarrassing as having it recorded. Express Violinist 4528 says. Sorry that happened to you. I had no idea that was a thing. Natalian1795 says, I used to drink tea on an empty stomach to miss school. Once my mom picked up on it, she told to start drinking something else lol. As soon as you said you drank the tea and threw up, I was thinking that the tannin probably didn't sit right with you. Hope you're better. Raven Zen Roses says, I'm going to tell you something that is both comforting and terrifying, and nobody tells you this. You're going to throw up a lot as an adult. You're going to shit your pants more than you'll expect. In a lot of ways, the rest of your life is just trying to escape your digestive disturbances while maintaining a normal life. It's fine. Nobody is going to think less of you for it. Don't infantize yourself over it. I don't want to walk again says, I thought the twist was going to be that it was a spiked iced tea. Dare I say twisted tea. Giraffitis says, I love that we all still call our moms to tell them we threw up when we are sick. Like, WTF is wrong with me, mom? I can't adult. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.